Hello, and welcome to the Infinite Escape Room Pubisode Edition. You join us at the end of a 3-episode arc set on Bournemouth Beach, at the end of the Ice Cream Wars and the beginning of the apocalypse, I guess. We have been escaping the beach in an ice cream van. We have spent 3 episodes finding the fuel, the fresh water, and the keys to said van, and have now driven halfway across the English Channel, or as we call it, the Strait of Dover, which happens to be the name of this charming pub, sat on a dried-out seabed. We're already inside. I have to say, it's a bit moist, quite a bit of rot. It has been under here 174 meters down for many decades. And it's full of starfish. Hey.
We're the first customers in a long time, aren't we?
We are.
There's a sentient sponge wearing trousers behind the bar.
That bloke. Lovely. My name is Jonathan David Charles Saunders III. I have ordered from the bar the very last of the Cape Verdean grog.
Oh, from the bottle.
What better drink to have at the bottom of what was once the sea to celebrate the geographic rejoining of us to Europe? Chin chin, guys. Bottoms up.
Hooray. Doggerland has risen once again. Oh, he's necked it in one.
Oh,
bloody hell, John. I didn't think you were going to do that.
This was the day that John was hospitalised.
Oh, fuck.
As you see a hole being burned in his throat.
Ooh.
You feeling good?
Wow.
I feel alive.
He's going again.
Good Lord.
He's going again.
And locked in with me today, we have...
Are we doing what we're drinking?
Just drink.
Please do, otherwise I'm going to look like a wild...
And with this maniac that's just next load of food.
All right. My name is Mairi, and after rummaging around in this, are we even calling it a pub? This establishment. I found a couple of bottles of Pickering's gin, which has fallen off a boat at some point, and I've decided to mix it with a little bit of apple juice and ginger juice to make some kind of cocktail. For the listeners at home, I actually don't like gin very much, but I'm going on holiday for like 3 weeks, so it's the only thing I have left on my shelf. So it's actually nice. It's very drinkable. Pickering's is a gin distillery based here in Edinburgh, about 15-minute walk, and yeah, it's a staple pretty much everywhere in the city. So that is what I'm drinking today.
Can you taste the gin in that cocktail?
I've drowned it with a lot of apple juice, but there is there's a gin undercurrent. It's a very drinkable gin.
Slightly dangerous.
It sounds like an oxymoron, but that's just personal preference.
Gin's quite botanic. It really cuts through everything, but this one is like a lot softer than the average, so I'd recommend it.
Nice. And I'm Jamie Gibbs, and this week, I suppose
It's me, Jamie. It's me.
It's not.
No, he's run out of mead.
It's not, because I have run out of mead, listeners. Play the smallest violin for my pain. So I'm on the IPAs and whatnot today. So
how far the mighty have fallen.
Kind of appropriately, I suppose. I'm drinking a pale ale called Jellyfish Nebula.
Topical.
From a place called Tooth and Claw. I know we're in the English Channel where, do you get many jellyfish?
Yeah, so many.
Yeah, loads.
Yeah. David Williams comes out of the channel just covered in jellyfish head to toe. So I'm drinking Jellyfish Nebula. It's a pale ale. It's kind of fruity. It's
very
nice.
Good.
I'm going to drink the whole lot. Lovely.
I've got a little gin as well. It's a small batch ship shape and Bristol fashion.
Lovely.
Which I've had in the cupboard for ages, to the point where the top of the corks come off, so you've got to use your teeth.
Do it. Demonstration.
Oh, that little
sound.
That was nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, so it's got with grapefruit, or fennel, and local honey.
So we have our pub, we have our drinks, we have our soppy bar stools, and we are here today to discuss live actors in escape rooms. That thorny and emotional subject. I said that, and Mairi's face went, "Oh, let me at him."
Oh,
let me
I've
at
got
him.
so many stories.
She's got opinions.
Strong one.
I feel like we all have. So I'm going to kick us off. We could very easily get into just like hot takes on this very quickly, but I want to first narrow down exactly what we mean when we say a live actor in an escape room. It sounds obvious, but lots of escape rooms use effectively the GM wearing a hat or something to introduce the room, and then you never see them again. I don't think that really counts as a live actor in the room.
No, I wouldn't say so.
So I'm going to venture that the definition here is that once the puzzles are going, once you are in play, that this person, be it the GM or a third party, steps into the space and remains with you for a good chunk of time and can be interacted with.
What's the chunk of time? Like, what if you're just kind of like in a horror room and then someone jumps out at you halfway, but that's kind of it? Are we calling that a live actor as well? Or?
Interesting. Don't know. I guess that's sort of halfway between using your, I guess it would be the GM in that case, using them almost as a special effect.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I would say live actor means like you can kind of interact back.
Interesting.
Really.
Ooh.
But hey.
I suppose, yeah, because the jump scare thing, that could just be an animatronic. It could be a prop. But yeah, you're right. I suppose
it's kind of the ultimate
back and
GM triggered puzzle, isn't it? Like
Mm-hmm.
the trigger is you and the puzzle is you. What have been our experiences, best and worst, of a live actor in an escape room?
Ooh.
Best is cheating a little bit because I have played the number one Topeka award-winning room in the world, and it's this one in Montreal at Escaparium, and it's called Magnifico's Circus. And this room is, I kid you not, about 3 hours long, and I think I counted about 10 distinct live actors in there. And this room also has like a roller coaster. It has like an enormous space. So like at this point, are we even talking about an escape room? Also, I still haven't financially recovered from booking this. By the way.
I was going to say, like, whoa, what kind of money are we talking per person?
So I made the inverted commas mistake or happy accident of I was traveling for a wedding and I was like, you guys like puzzles. As your wedding gift, I'm going to book the world's best escape room. And me in my head, I was like, okay, world's best escape room for 4 people. How much can it be? I think it was 900 Canadian dollars for 4 people. And that was the minimum amount. And I was like, that's like my month's rent. Like, what?
That was your
God. It was worth it though. This is the worst part. It was 100% worth it. And I would recommend anyone and say, do it. Incredible. But to bring it back to the conversation, they had about 10 live actors in it. So you're kind of going through this circus with a circus troupe, and there's people at the start that kind of break you in, and then there's like other people later that take on different roles.
This sounds very Phantom Peak.
Very, but it's just you. There's no one else in there. And so it's all centered around you, and every actor is kind of watching you and reacting to you. And that is just mind-blowingly good. Like they're like the best of the best, and they react so well and make it so special. So without giving spoilers, that's the best live actor room.
That's a pretty good best.
Yeah. Worst, I have to bring it back to my example. You know, when you sort of book a horror room and it's like you sort of Google, does this have live actors? And then I'm like, yeah, it has live actors, and it's just one person jumping out at you. But the one I'm thinking, no names, I played a horror room. It was like it wasn't a pop-up, but it was a normal horror room, and they had a Halloween special where there were like live actors in the room with you, and they just had this, it was like Doll's House themed. And okay, I say it's the worst. It's kind of funny now. We walked into a doll's house and it's full of like life-size mannequin dolls, and obviously one of them was an actor. And so halfway through, he just jumped up, and we were like, "Wait, have you been sitting there the whole time?"
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
And this like poor 17-year-old, underpaid for sure, was just sitting there silently waiting for the moment to go, "Whoa!" And it wasn't that
scary. Wow!
No, not even the payoff.
It wasn't
man.
Easy money though. Just sit here, just wait until the right moment, and blah, done.
Yeah, those are mine. And yeah, do we even call the horror like a live actor? It's tricky because when you book a horror room, you will look up, is there a live actor? And if one person jumps out at you one time, then yeah, that's the live actor box. But it's not really a live actor.
Is that the escape room using that as a marketing ploy?
So.
Oh yeah, we use live actors in this room. Yeah, it's just a dude.
And you think, that must be...
Has it become the sort of the rubber stamp mark of extra quality that the tip box that people want to tick?
Yeah, it's worth your
money. Which is interesting because it might rub people up the wrong way as well. Like, I don't want to interact with people. Fuck that. It might put people off.
Yeah, I think that's a very real thing. A lot of people, I think for a lot of people, part of the enjoyment of an escape room is that it is just them in it. And the situation will be unfolding and stuff will happen, but there is something about that extra element of a live person that can, in theory, do whatever that, I don't know, it's sort of... It adds a different kind of of difficulty or challenge into the room. And I think sometimes that's just plain not welcome. That's not why people are there.
It's the reason why I don't play multiplayer games very often. I play my single-player Skyrim. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to interact with anybody.
It's the reason why I only play multiplayer games, and I'm not happy unless I can find someone's data ruin.
Oh, you're one of them. Okay.
Of course.
You should see our games of Nexus 5X. They get brutal.
Oh, they do. And I
John,
always
did
lose.
you ever play like RuneScape back in the day?
No, but very recently, I bought a computer that I was going to upgrade and sell on from a man who had just made a significant amount of money building and selling a RuneScape server.
No
This
way.
year, I shit not.
Good for him. That's an untapped market. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
They remastered RuneScape recently, completely off topic, but they've like last month or something, they've remastered it or done something, a sequel or some shit. So there's good money in it.
There is.
Oh, damn.
Jamie.
That's cool.
Jamie, best and worst. Hit us.
I don't think I've really had, I've only had one, I think, that's had a live actor in it.
Well, didn't
total?
you do and again, we're sort of veering to, is this even an escape room? Oh, what was it called? The Clockmaker something? The
Locksmith's Dream.
Locksmith's Dream.
Locksmith's
That overnight.
That came to mind, but like Phantom Peak,
Not an escape room.
it's a completely different, there's escape room elements to it, but you go into it knowing that you are there as the main character in an event where there are NPCs to interact with.
This is more like a glorified murder mystery.
But with lots of escape room elements into it.
In my head, there's a Venn diagram there. There is overlap there, absolutely. I mean, both of these things are puzzles to solve, right? But a murder mystery is focused entirely pretty much on the people, and an escape room is focused entirely pretty much on the stuff.
I think if that was like a line, Locksmith's Dream is definitely towards the murder mystery, but it does have a lot of engagement with the house. And I don't know about your experience, Jamie, but they were quite good that if you weren't that confident talking to the actors, there was so much to do that you could kind of do by yourself, kind of heads down.
Yeah. Yeah, with the groups that we were with, like my wife and I went and we were the escape room people. And we were pretty much the only ones in that group, in that whole group of people that were escape room people.
Rest are all swingers.
It's very much the vibe. They give you masks at some point. You have to sort of go around.
Quite bohemian from the clientele. But like a lot of them were into immersive theatre. A lot of them were into the murder mystery angle. It was a weird, eclectic mix of people. And they weren't all there for one thing. So it's such a unique experience. I wouldn't class it in the same vein as one I did years ago, Handmade Mysteries, Lady Chastity's Reserve, where the GM was also an NPC that would occasionally come into the room and give us little jibes and little bits of improv as well as hints and things like that. That was nice because it wasn't constant and it was now and again just for fun because the room itself was quite irreverent, quite risque.
Sure.
And it wasn't necessary. It was just nice.
And the worst?
I don't think I've had another experience that I had a live actor. Not with a physical person in the room. I've had ones where I've interacted with the GM via an intercom, where they pretend to be a character, and I've had to improv or do something to solve a puzzle. That's the only one where there's been an actor in the room with me.
And what about you, Bailey?
So I'm a big fan of immersive theatre. Like I do enjoy going. I remember, I think John, you saw it as well, Mask of the Red Death.
Back when we were young.
Yeah, back in uni. And that was amazing. Not escape room, but again, you had a big mask. Everyone was really, like, you were wandering around and watching different theatre and that kind of thing. So I enjoy it. And I suppose I don't think I've got really any live escape room.
Okay, maybe I'll ask you a slightly different question then.
Okay.
How does the idea of you're doing an escape room and then there is another person who is not part of the team in front of you suddenly to deal with, how does that make you feel? Does that make you excited? Does it fill you with trepidation? What does that do to you?
I think it depends on the room. So like Mairi said with the horror room, I mean, we'd done an escape room and booked it and gone out, but then we booked another one later in the day and then gone out and had a couple of drinks.
The high must continue.
Yes, and it was a zombie. Yeah, and it was a zombie one. I don't think there was anyone in it, but I was so scared. Like, I was just such a big scaredy cat. So I was just expecting something to jump out. I don't think, but I can sort of.
So for you, in that added to it, that took the horror vibe up a notch.
Up a notch. So I think and I think that's the point. I think if I wouldn't want to rely on it because I want to be there solving with my friends and going in and solving it in the order and the way and naturally like I'm going to with them as a group. If you can kind of add to it through acting and theatre and that kind of thing, because I suppose it is kind of those elements, Absolutely. I think, and you can add to the experience by making it more immersive. I think that can help. I think I remember, John, like back in lockdown, I think there was an online thing. I think I'm not sure who did it.
I mean, there was so
on
much.
It.
So
yeah, but we
many.
did. It was an American one we did. It was like a vampire thing one
because we had the castle one.
With the blood, like I remember, you had there was someone. I think it was like I don't think it was pre-recorded.
Okay,
it was like a GoPro, and like you were kind of going through and you had to choose, and like there was like a blood thing, and they like kind of cut a vein and like that. It was like really like it was really like
Mairi does not approve of this. Her face is
yeah.
Actually,
but I mean, it wasn't real. They didn't.
Mairi, can I come to you? So as Bailey was describing how the threat of a live action horror amped it up for you, your face did a thing.
Did you see that?
I want to investigate what you were going through. Like you look deeply uncomfortable at the thought, at the risk of putting words into your mouth. So what does that do for you? Like the possibility of a live actor being in the room, what does that do to your soul?
Okay, I've got two things to say here. The thing that I was really wanted to say before, and I'll just say really quickly to get out of the way, I was talking to someone and they were a professional actor. I think they're Americans, so very different cultural context, but they, in America, they have public bookings. And so they were hired to be in the public booking as a solo person, but they were entirely in on it. And so halfway through the horror escape room, they have like a horrible accident, sort of spurt blood or something horrible. And you think they were a member of the public, but they were in on it from the start. Incredible. Like such a good idea. But probably the face I was making was absolute abject horror. And you would never tell from the podcast, but I'm such an introvert. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want people to be in my escape room. I don't.
It's true. When I met Mairi for the first time in person, she just ignored me. It was very odd. Completely blank.
I mean, and that's hard because people think you're a bike, John. So like, how she like ignored this bicycle man coming towards me. Sorry.
This mechanical centaur.
I have one proper experience of a live action escape room, and that is the Happiness Institute or the Happy Institute.
Yeah, I know.
Over in Gravesend. What's the venue called, Mairi?
The Panic Room.
Thank you. Over the Panic Room in Gravesend. Of the rooms we did at the Panic Room, this was by far me and Mike's favorite. The Happy Institute. Basically, you arrive at this institute to take a drug to help you feel happy, and you take these pills, and that's the.
It's a great room.
Genuinely, it's a great room.
That's awesome.
And there's a doctor there who is the GM and is also there to observe you during this study. And things start to go wrong and weird. And I'll stop there for fear of further spoilers. It's very clear that it's a horror room from the start. But I'm not even quite a horror room, but the live actor is very much part of it. He is present pretty much all of the time. And it was brilliant, truly fantastic down to his performance. We were debating on the way home what we think he was getting paid, and the short answer we came to was definitely not enough. But one thing I thought afterwards was, I think his presence changed the difficulty of the room dramatically, because the puzzles in that room, a couple of them are difficult, but by and large, they're actually pretty straightforward, sort of figure out the task, do the task puzzles, but made much more difficult by the presence of this sinister man who's with you and cackling madly and doing all sorts of just mad shit. Beautifully performed, beautifully in character. And I thought, wow, you're the difficulty level here. The room isn't it. You are. And yeah, that was just kind of a bit of a revelation for me. It was really the only time, apart from the big hitters like you described earlier, Mairi, where I thought, oh no, this does add something.
I think if it's anything other than a horror, it's got to be done very well. Because I think horrors, you can just be in a mask and go, and that's fine, like live action, whatever. But I think if you actually want to interact and be part and useful and add to the room, you've got to be so skilled. And I that's the thing. I think it's, and also kind of you don't know, like as an actor, like going into it or a performer, what group you're going to have.
So that,
we went into that zombie one, and we'd had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
I was ready to run.
Bang.
I was like, I was like on edge. So like, yeah. Like,
well, you
you
joke, but not even joke. We chatted to the guy at Happy Institute afterwards for a minute, and he said the main guy who does that room got punched in the face once. Remember, the pub just snapped and just hit him. Oh,
Really?
I can totally see it. There's no one else there.
If you're in the zone,
yeah.
I wouldn't like. It's like if you're that, especially if it's a horror room and people are getting hyped up and into the, because I know like when I'm in an escape room, I do kind of like absorb it and I enjoy getting into it, and that's part of the fun for me. Yeah. So, but I really hope I wouldn't like lash out and hurt anyone.
Yeah. I mean, as much as you shouldn't punch them,
I do like doing that in inanimate objects. I probably are a bit more rougher than I think, because I'm just like, gotta get out, Anyway, sorry.
Fair dues to that actor though, that if they managed to blur the line between the game world and the narrative reality, well enough that someone has such a strong reaction that they get physically assaulted.
Yeah.
That's kind of a compliment on their skills to do that. I mean,
listeners,
don't punch actors, don't punch GMs, just be good. But on that note, well done.
Sure it is, but I have a bit of a question mark here, and it's to do with the room that Mairi brought up earlier, the best escape room in the world. From what you said, based on the kind of the experience and the quality of it, I'm ready to question whether that's even an escape room anymore.
Yeah. It's an immersive experience for one person. One group.
Much like there's a theatre show called You, Me, Bum Bum Train.
Oh my God. I have tried to get tickets for this for so many years.
So I know one of the I'm not sure what production assistant. She runs a scene in it.
If she can get me a free ticket, I will be so much in your debt forever.
I mean, their audience is like a lot. So for the uninitiated, You, Me, Bum Bum Train is a one audience member immersive theatre show where you go from scene to scene as one person. You are the only audience member and are interacted with in these various different scenes as if you are the sole focus. So like being on a train where you're the only passenger and you're surrounded by dozens of live actors. Almost everyone performing in it is a volunteer because it's simply not financially viable without it. And it's supposed to be an absolutely singular experience. But again, the room you were describing earlier, Mairi, I feel like that's more akin to You, Me, Bum Bum Train or Punch Drunk that Emma brought up earlier than an escape room. And I wanted to ask, going back, how much of that experience was solving puzzles?
It's a good question. That's definitely still the underpinning thing you have to do. So I don't want to give too many spoilers, but let's take the a scene. To progress through the scene, there are a series of puzzles to complete before you can go through the locked door to go into the next area. And maybe there's one or two actors in the room with you, but your focus as the team is to get through that. And there are a few moments of improv, you have to dress up at one point, you have to sort of lie at one point. At some point you go into a room with a sort of fortune teller and you have to play along and say the right words at the right time. And it's quite cleverly done with balancing, what I'm saying is riddle password related, but I'm also just improving back and forth with the actor. And there are a few moments when you're just watching and a lot more moments when you're actively engaging. But what is escape room about it? Honestly, nothing. I've done a lot of live experience. I've done a lot of escape rooms. I think they just chose to market themselves as an escape room, and so that sets them aside as an escape room. But if you put it side by side with maybe not Phantom Peak, but maybe something like Bridge Command, it's similar. So it's much more immersive. But they've chosen to market themselves as an escape room.
Interesting.
I just remembered that I designed an escape room that had a live actor in it. Accidentally.
Okay, Jamie, you're going to have to unpack that.
It was a small scale event in a local coffee shop. I did it for Halloween a couple of years ago. That was all designed around. It was meant to be slightly cheeky, ghost story, occulty kind of vibe. Just not meant to be too serious.
But all about coffee.
It was no coffee in it at all, but it was
a coffee. No coffee.
Nice, but it was in a cafe that was also a community arts center.
You might say they were coffinated.
Oh, very good.
And it was literally that there wasn't much space for the event, and there were like six tables, so 6 teams. They all had identical boxes. It wasn't an escape room in the traditional sense. It was more like a tabletop escape game that they had to get into, and they were playing all the same thing. But I wanted to have like a 5-minute segment of that was escape room-esque. Luckily, the coffee shop had a back room that they could do 1 or 2 puzzles, 1 team at a time, because it was quite a small area. So it created this sort of artificial bottleneck in the puzzle. But I needed to make it a bit more worthwhile for them to have a reason to go in there and to be supervised while I was out in the front. So the person that ran the coffee shop said that they would be a fortune teller person for that short experience. So they'd have to come in into the back room when they were ready. They had to give the
First of all,
fortune teller
what a LinkedIn CV. Coffee shop owner, come fortune teller. Amazing.
They had to give the fortune teller 2 specific tarot cards, and then there would be a little bit of a sort of improv fortune telling scene. The lights would go down. There would be a black light, and they could do the next bit of the puzzle. And that sort of just evolved naturally because we needed somebody there to supervise that part of the experience.
Yeah, so this brings me back to the Happy Institute. If you took the guy out, that room would not function. You wouldn't know what to do half the time, because he literally comes up to you and addresses you as these test subjects and guides you towards the next thing that you have to do. And on one level, he did a great job, fantastic. But I definitely felt we'll just get the actor to do it. Oh, we'll just have the actor sort out something here. Oh, there's no glue there. There's no reason to do the next thing. We'll just have the actor figure something out to tell them, which is a trope that I hate.
Right.
I absolutely hate, because I see it in the acting world all the time, where they basically, like, people who market themselves as creatives can't figure out what to do here, so they just get the actors to improv something. And then what the actors improv becomes the thing that you do and becomes part of the experience or the shoot or whatever it is. And that, I don't know, that makes me sad, because it still ends up being a production of this, and this. Whereas actually, some pretty key moments in here were entirely created by the cast that you hired and then basically didn't credit.
Yeah. So it's like narrative plaster. It looks nice, but if it's meant to be structural, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I see. I think if you write in a live action, if I went into a room and I knew it was going to be live action and it wasn't horror or anything like that, I think personally, if they're there, if the actor is there, I'd want them to be a sort of like part of the room,
integral.
Because if they're not and they're just like jibbly, just like I'm an actor.
That is how all actors introduce themselves at all times. Jibbly bibbly.
Do you have any roles?
That was beautiful, Bailey.
I'm available if anyone wants to.
Also curious that
I'm not. I got a full-time job, but like
actor shared Jamie's bathroom voice from previous episodes.
Hello. Do you mind if I come in? It's okay. I'm an actor.
but if I left and thought, why were they there? I could have done it without them. But I also, it's completely not okay that the people that have created the room don't then also create why. Yeah, there shouldn't be that improv and sticking plaster that makes the room what it is.
While we're on the subject of like how they make you feel in the room, one thing I noticed in the Happy Institute, which intrigued me, was the way that the presence of the actor changed the dynamic between myself and Mike, who were the players in the room.
Were you just a team of 2?
Team of 2. Okay. And it changed the way we interacted with each other, definitely.
How?
We were certainly less relaxed.
Yeah.
Now, it's a horror room, sure, fine, that's the point. But like, as in we were less relaxed with each other as a team. And I feel like if you were there for, say, I don't know, a stag or a hen or something like that, where like the social interaction between the team is actually kind of the reason that you're there, I feel like the presence of a live actor inhibits that.
Yeah.
Because
it depends what you're going for.
Sure, but because whatever an escape room asks you to do, it's asking you to do it as you together as a group. Now you're not sort of assuming this other role to deal with a live actor. And I don't know, that there was a, like, say if we'd been on a date, right? I feel like that would have been
You and Mike,
that would
lovely
have,
couple.
No, sure, like people.
You and
do it all
Mike
the
on a
time.
date. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
So many years, one day. Just to lay my cheek on that bald.
Yeah,
head.
this. Which cheek?
Oh no!
Beautifully done.
Who's editing this episode? Is it Mike?
It's John,
me.
unfortunately.
And it is.
He's keeping it all in. He's keeping it all in.
But no, when I was GMing, loads of people came on dates, and it was a thing, and it was like for a lot of them it was fun, and I feel like adding another person into that, I think it just makes it worse in some ways.
Yeah.
It makes it less intimate. I don't mean that in like people shagging the skate room or whatever. I just mean like
No.
it is it is an intimate experience because you're in this space and you're dealing with the space together, and you're not just you together if there's someone else there.
Like I think, yeah, I totally, because like it depends like what you want to get out of the room, because like when we meet up, like we're friends that don't, and Mike and Laura and everyone, we're friends that don't see each other for a long time. So we want to meet up and kind of do stuff together and like have fun. So, when we do an escape room, it's also about kind of, getting back, getting back into it and having fun and, and being together again. So I would probably avoid a room with the live actor because that takes away from that, because I kind of would go into, I'm watching a bit of theatre now, so I'm on my own.
Yes.
Like this is I'm not with other people.
That's interesting, that distinction that you become in some respect a member of the audience rather than a participant at the same time. That's interesting. On that note, I think that was really good. I want to kind of wrap this up. So I will ask you all a question, a really straightforward question, but I want to know your reasons why. Are you, as an individual, for or against live actors in rooms, and why?
What order do you want us to answer?
First. Yeah. I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
While you guys kind of think about it. I am broadly against live actors in escape rooms. I'm not against immersive theatre. I really like it. I'm not against murder mysteries. They've got a place. I really like them. But there is something about the quality of an escape room, the unfeeling and implacable nature of the thing that you are facing, that I think is diminished or changed into something else by the presence of a live actor. It becomes an immersive experience. It becomes a kind of theatre. It's no longer an escape room. And I also note that the rooms I've done, not as Happy Institute, but the some of the more cinematic rooms, even ones that didn't have live actors in, but where the focus was on the kind of the experience, the quality of the puzzles and the stuff that you had to do diminished and was, in my view, kind of dominated by the aesthetic. And for me personally, there's a loss there. So I am, for escape rooms, broadly against. Mairi.
Okay, I went through a roller coaster as you were talking. I was like, I agree, I disagree, I disagree.
Okay.
But I've settled on, I think I also do not like actors in escape room. And I say that with the privilege of having played a lot of the world's best escape rooms, and many of them have actors. And I would even say, looking at the top list,
and not only a house as a result.
But looking at the top list, is like they all have live actors in them. Like if you're making a world-class escape room, you're going to put a live actor in. But I think I prefer them without, because what I'm there to do in an escape room is exactly what you said. I'm there to have an adventure with my friends. Like whether that's one person, 4 people, whatever, and it's about us. We need to meet the main actor in the story. But when you bring a live actor in, you are more of a participant. You're watching other people, like taking Magnifico, for example. Fantastic escape room, but we weren't in the circus. We were watching other people do the circus, and we were just kind of on the periphery solving things to help other people do their act. And you kind of feel detached. You feel like a member of the audience. And it has its time and a place, but what I'm looking for in an escape room is more about me experiencing the story. And so
you want to do it. You don't just want to witness it.
So I think I'm also against it. And again, take that with the caveat of like, I've played some of the best and they're great, but I think I still prefer them without.
Thank you. Jamie or Bailey, whoever's got the thought bubbling.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's kind of what you want to get out of the room. So if say like I was going to Montreal and the best escape room in the world was going to go there, was there, I'm going to go. but I know I'm going for that experience, not to have an experience with my friends.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was going to a different escape, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's about the intention, that what you want to get out of the room. So I know kind of, I am a bit kind of being annoying on the, I suppose in general, I am against it because I know I go to escape rooms. It's
and also because you don't want to punch someone.
I do get very intense.
Listeners, her eyes went there. So we got this milkman-themed escape room.
Oh no! Of course,
Count the bottles
as soon as you go in on your property. I think probably for what I want to get out of an escape room, I wouldn't choose to go to one with the live action. That would be turn me off. I wouldn't want to go. But if I felt I wanted to go and experience something like immersive theatre, because that's what I would say it would kind of turn into if it's done well, like that Happiness Institute when you did, John.
It's great.
I'd say that's not. I don't think it even is an escape room maybe anymore. I think it's more immersive theatre, and part of the immersion is you're doing puzzles. So I think for escape rooms, how I like to do an escape room, I wouldn't choose to go to a live action one, so I'd be against it.
Sure. Jamie? For or against?
As much as I'd like to say for, just to play devil's advocate, it was a bit of a debate. And I've only ever played one escape room that has an actor. Doesn't really count. I still would be against live actors in escape rooms. From what I've heard, like from Mairi, what you said about all the rooms you've played, they're really good escape rooms, almost despite the presence of live actors, not because of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And if I'm booking an escape room, if it has a live actor, it doesn't detract from the experience. I'm not less likely to book. I'm not more likely to book. It's just there, and it's nice. If it's done badly, it'll take away from the experience. If it's done well, it might enhance the experience somewhat. But an escape room, no matter how good the narrative is, I'm there to complete a goal with people I know. I'm there to solve puzzles. I'm there to escape. I'm there to play a game. Live actors change the nature of that, like we've said, with the dynamics of it, and it becomes something else. And John?
I would add a further charge against live actors in escape rooms, and it's an economic one. I think adding live actors provides an excuse to jack up the price to far more than the cost of adding the live actors, and therefore increase the profit margin.
Because it's not going back to the actors.
It's like
the actors will be paid.
They're not being paid, but not enough.
They won't be paid well. They won't.
No.
They just won't, because there's a million of them. The closest knowledge I have of this sort of thing is Crystal Maze. We're all familiar.
Yep.
In London, the live event, I know several people. Manchester.
Sorry.
I know several
Shout
people
out to
who used to
Manchester.
work there as hosts. And in the early days, when it was kind of first open, they were very well looked after. Their pay was pretty solid, actually. And there was a big emphasis on the quality and everything. And then basically one day their pay got cut in half and then lowered again. After that, when the bosses basically realized, we could actually just pay our performers less and they'll probably still keep doing it. Let's do that. And that was just a really sad, we feel valued. And sure, you can make the standard capitalist arguments that something's value is what people are willing to pay for it. Fine, great. But
they're not charging less.
Yeah, no, exactly. But if really that's your arguments, then sorry, folks, but next stop slavery. Like that's just what happens. You just end up with a load of people on the breadline on poverty wages. That's what's happened.
But that is there's way too much emphasis put on profit and not on ethics and what actually people need. Yeah. Sorry, that's another conversation.
We could do a whole other episode on it.
It's not just focused on profit, because business has got to make money, but it's the
not that much money.
It's the failure to appreciate or account for the added value of that person's creativity. And to treat that like really quite a cheap asset just because there's lots of really good creative people. But it isn't a cheap asset. And you find that out when you lose them and the whole thing starts to come apart.
sorry, just to follow on from something you said earlier, John, about kind of the quality of the escape room put on the improv skills and the talent and the creativity of the actor. I hadn't considered that before you said that, because I just assumed, well, they've created the room, there must be an element of direction and script and that kind of thing. I mean, obviously you don't want it too scripted, because that takes away from, that takes away from a little bit of the natural progression. But yeah, like, I hadn't thought of that. So that kind of needs to, again, that kind of adds to it a little bit.
I also reckon, I'm ranting now, I also reckon it's an excuse for some bad design. The GM, I mean, we're kind of more into a sort of free GM thing than necessarily a live act. So like the rooms that have hint systems where the GM is basically just talking to you to one medium or another. I feel like there's so many rooms where there's basically a design flaw in the room and the GM gets used as glue to paste over that design flaw rather than fix the design flaw. And that, again, that annoys me, because fix your room. Like, don't rely on that.
I will caveat my rating by saying that I've not played really any that have live actors that are good or bad. So if anyone listening wants to recommend UK
absolutely,
that you think live actors in that room really make it another level of an escape room experience, and not just a level of immersive theatre added on to that experience.
Yeah.
And also, if you're listening and you are a live actor in the escape industry, let us know.
Oh, yes.
Or tell us about your experience.
We want to hear.
We want to see the other side of it.
How that job works and feels, and what you
We might have
feel
it completely wrong.
We could even
it's the best thing.
We could even do one of those like crime watchy things where you anonymize their voice and put them in shadow.
Oh, that's cool.
I was in this escape room and somebody punched me. They kept screaming "Move!" at me and hurling me to the floor. Lovely.
How'd you like my bottles now?
That is an escape room that has to happen. The attack of the demon.
Just swears at you until you complain to the manager.
Very good.
It's how they escape your property in the end. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
The disgruntled homeowner, the escape room. That's wonderful. Gentlemen, ladies, I hear the landlord ring the ghostly bell of the deep and call us to our watery graves that aren't watery anymore and are actually just kind of a desert. And so we'll leave, shall we? But before we leave, does anyone have any recommendations they would like to send out into the ether?
I am currently obsessed with a TV show, and I can't even really call it a TV show because it's a YouTube show, and it's called Jetlag the Game. And I've been devouring the episodes, and it's these 3 comedians, and I think they're all based in America, but one of them grew up in Britain. And all they do is play big games of things like hide and seek or tag, but around massive land masses. So they'll do like hide and seek Europe, and they'll spend weeks, and like one of them will hide and the other 2 are seekers, and they have this whole like point system where it's incredible. Cool. Like the budget, the ambition, they've got these cards, they have to draw challenges. And then they have to be like, oh, like, are you like higher than our latitude, or are you in the same like canton or whatever it is? Anyway, so they've got like 8 seasons of this on YouTube, and they are massive now, like millions and millions of views. And one of my friends put me up to this, and I just kid you not, like I watched one episode and I was hooked. And I don't binge things, and this is the thing I've been binging. Jetlag the Game.
This sounds great.
Brilliant. It's like hide and seek, tag, capture the flag, like fantastic games, but on a nationwide like scale.
Wow, that does sound amazing.
And that is my recommendation for the week.
Hey guys, capture the flag. The flag's in Moscow. Good luck with that.
Go, 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 go. What content?
Oh no.
Wow, what a recommendation. Well done. Jamie?
Ooh, well, just look, I'm on their page now. I was looking at their very first video. It says, we played Connect 4 by traveling to actual US states.
Yeah.
That's gamified.
Kind of
there's
thing.
mega games, and there's using it on the continent.
Oh my God. So
That's the Game Boy.
Connect 4 on the US map.
That's amazing.
Oh, I would be really into that.
I've subscribed.
Actually. Yeah, thanks, Mairi.
Genuinely, give it a go. Pick any season, any game that calls to you. It's just brilliant.
I'm going to find it now and like bookmark it.
Fair play. Jamie?
My recommendation is also a YouTube channel. So this is an animator and a voiceover artist called Tom Bates, who creates little animated shorts about a tiny wizard named Nigel and his dog horse Marmalade.
Oh
and
my God!
And this sort of
Bailey has just
sentient
exploded.
pink blob called Patricia.
Yes!
It is.
Yes, it's amazing.
It's
Sorry,
grotesque.
I love it.
It's sweary. It is very, very British, and it's the kind of thing that I sort of put on when I've got a quiet moment, just to giggle to myself uncontrollably for a good minute. And I find myself just going around the house, just like quoting random bits of the video, just "Hello, Nigel and Marmalade, won't you join me for a spot of tea?" And even my kids started.
Robbery.
My kids started walking around going, "Hello, Nigel, would you help me dispose of this murder weapon?" Chocolate is the perfect medium for crime. It is incredible. It is so funny. Tom Bates. It's fantastic.
Oh, Jamie, didn't mean to railroad.
No, this is good. I'm glad that it's not just me.
Well, when he mentioned this, Bailey nearly went through her glass ceiling.
And it also made me think of another thing I'm going to suggest now.
Okay, Bailey, hit it.
I don't know what to suggest, but it's called. So I kind of see it on like just social media, YouTube, and that kind of thing. But it's the Tiny Chef Show, and it's like this little tiny like stop motion little chef.
It's just Ratatouille.
And he's like, "Babba-dibba-dooba-doo." Like that is just like he's so cute, and but he makes like tiny recipes, but he's got like a whole he'll take a whole garlic and then take a little,
are you sure this guy isn't an actor? Because that was very similar to the Jubilee.
It's just flippity jibbit. It's like he's like a little stop motion creation. He just does little shorts and videos. So that's all. He might do more because I think he's got a bit more. I think it looks like he's on like Paramount, Amazon, and that kind of thing.
Wow. This looks adorable.
But it's so funny. Like,
This looks really wholesome and like
it
kind
really
of
is.
Okay, cool.
He's just like baby like that. It's just but he's like cooking, and I think he's got a little cat, and he's like this just little like kind of like woodland. I think he's like more like a woodland creature like thing. But the Tiny Chef Show. It's just great.
It reminds me of Morph.
Yeah,
a little bit. It's really looks really
and
lovely.
it kind of like it's English, but it's not. So like it's like a bit like gobbledygook, but it makes sense. You can understand what he's saying enough. But yeah, it's
Looks
just
really
really
cute.
Nice.
Amazing.
It cheers me up. So,
Love it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Subscribed.
And
lots of YouTube.
I am going to recommend something completely different and accessible to nearly all, not all, but nearly all. I'm going to recommend long walks with your phone turned off. Ideally woodland or by the sea or somewhere out in nature, and go there on your own. Either leave your phone at home or turn it off and walk for several hours, and you will feel better. I promise.
What about the
love it.
risk of being murdered and never having your body found because your phone's switched off?
Bonus?
I wonder how many potential murder victims have been saved by their phone versus the public health impact of social media and phones. And I think I'm on the winning side of that.
Fair observation.
Yeah.
Plus, we all know if you're going to be murdered, spy someone in your own family.
Exactly. It's not going to be on a long walk. You're fine. It's going to be at home.
Like stranger danger is fucking bullshit, man. Mostly.
It is almost annoying how, like, if I'm having a bad day, I pop out like 5 minutes away where there's like a little stream and a bit of greenery, and how quickly I feel better. And I'm almost annoyed at how fast I feel better.
Well, the Japanese have come up with this and given it a name as a form of therapy, and I think it translates to forest bathing. Let me just...
That's a good phrase.
I'm just going to get the name.
I go to bathe in the forest.
Forest.
That's
If I
lovely.
Google this, John, is it going to be...
Oh, God, I would,
forest
yeah.
bathing, also known as Shinrin-yoku, is a Japanese practice that involves slowing down and immersing oneself in the forest atmosphere, or as the British call it, going for a walk.
Love it.
Basically,
Off out.
But trust the Japanese to be like everyone else, only more so. So yeah,
I concur. I also +1 that recommendation.
right. The starfish barman is giving us a look with his mouth, eye,
Giving us the finger.
arsehole, face that does all of those things for starfish. I think he means for us to. Is it a he? Can you just lift that? No, unknown. Starfish person is telling us to leave, so we're going to fuck off back into our ice cream van and continue our roaring trip across what was once the English Channel. We love you lots, everyone, and we will see you next time on the Infinite Escape Room. Bye bye now.
Bye.